Hi, I'm Sheriff Pete and this is a feedback video for the developers, in collaboration with my friend Milordo. First of all, a quick introduction. I'm a multiplayer games enthusiast with over 20,000 hours across FPS, MMORPGs and asymmetrical horror games such as Dead by Daylight, which unfortunately cost us over 3,000 hours each, and also Milordo played basically all the DBD-like games. So let's get started. All of my opinions works around a simple concept. A multiplayer game needs to enchant every interaction between players. To give some examples, the fire extinguisher, camera, adrenalines, the brute charge, Windows Vault and so on enchant the interactions, while the fact you can't blind other survivors cancels one. And of course, each interaction has a kind. Like the coin toss is lucky based, the brute charge is skillful, the Malacosm trap strategic. The interaction I felt in love with my first sight on Monstrum 2 is the movement. The fact you can vault and slide everywhere in a map full of connections and verticality that adds a health managing. Now, all of this is lost without the one-shot on monsters, cause using the map verticality means you lose HP, and losing HP means being one-shottable. So now what you do is be safe on a single window, and as soon you have the opportunity, just take a hit from the monster and run where there is no objectives to do. So the monster is forced to end chase, and you can just heal up and repeat. Of course, this completely ruined the feeling of competitiveness, fear and engagement in a horror game. As my last point, I want to talk about a main difference between single-player and multiplayer games. The feeling when moving a character in a single-player game should be realistic and sometimes heavy or uncontrollably fast, while this feeling in a multiplayer game should be quick in direction changes. The prisoner, and especially the monsters, should be able to change direction without ever losing speed. This basically means acceleration should be gone in favor of playability.
And what an experience is this October update! From the lightning where you can see anything, so much so that you continuously smash your nose against the wall, to the very questionable changes regarding balance and audio. And look, we're not here to create a giant rant or create firestorms in the Junkfish Discord. It's not that the update itself was bad. On the other hand, we want to talk about the level and map design in this update. Mwah! Chef kiss. Or the big quality of life of XP and MC for completing the progress report. Or finally some fixes about the fog. It's still not fixed 100%, but it's start nevertheless. The game right now has a solid base created by you, Junkfish, with fantastic design ideas and concepts that I still praise today. Monstrum 2 is enjoyable and fun, but the experience is undermined by these constant, before little problems, now giant problems, without discussing it with the community. You know, I closed an eye at March, April, May, June, July, August, thinking that you wanted to take it slowly in regards of monsters balance and balance in general, but after this update I understand now you're not quite getting the real problems. The one-shot change. Oh my god, no. Who are we supporting with these balance changes? The aim of this is to reduce the amount of times prisoners would suddenly die, as well as to prolong the chase for monsters. What? This is so vague. So, you are stating that the experience with the one-shot was always oppressive, like unfair or unfun or unskilled? Spoiler, is not. This never happened. New players will always die fast, and that's why I waited almost 2 weeks to test it before talking. They're still dying easy as flies in this update too, because, they are new players, but if you wanted to easy the world difficulty, which is a whole other discussion, nerfing and damaging the monsters will never give you positive results from this. On the other hand, you need to help new players in other ways, not by balancing monsters from low-level people. And for the record, before, if you were one-shotted at random by Brute, it was for the audio, which still has a lot of problems, understandable as early access, terrible spawns, which it wasn't fixed in this update, bugs and glitch, like being stuck in a window, and by banana peels moments. Never and ever the community said, like, nerf Brute too strong. Nobody. Everyone agreed on Brute being perfectly balanced. Even Gary itself established it. Scary, tension, anxiety, balance, fairness, skill, fun. These were the experience before with Brute. It's the core of the Brute and all the game's design after all. And I'm not talking about Bargo and Malacosm, which are completely disaster in terms of balance. Heartbeat system. Give the players more warning if the monster is close, which translates into destroying the core gameplay of all Monster Hunter, removing stealth from monsters and other factors. So, again, in the end, who are we supporting? New players don't receive nothing from this. Normal and old and veteran players will only be damaged by all of these balance changes. What about new monster players? Which they will be hurt a lot from this, with a more frustrating gameplay. You may respond, it's another of our experiments, like June or August update. Okay, good. Which is why we need the transparency. We need to know clearly your intentions on these things before dropping the update, creating other issues in the mix. The final point is, all these problems in Monster Hunter, aside technical issues which are early access normal stuff, are a cauldron of annoying and frustrating problems. Problems that could be solved by talking about it now and listening all the good ideas the community already have that want to support this great game. Thank you for listening, and I hope we can have a civil conversation on Discord.
Alright everyone, enough for today, and a big last shout out for the help from Milordo and the guys that helped us testing the update.